Ladies and gentlemen, Jalen Rose said some pretty disparaging things about Kyrie and pretty much threw him under the bus recently. And then he came back and turned around and tried to clean up what he said. Now, let's be real, ladies and gentlemen. Let's be real. I'm going to talk real, and I don't care who thinks what. Selling out has a history that comes from chattel slavery. And it just goes to show you how, in some families within our community, that is passed down. We see it so much because they tried to breed that nature in us where we care about them more than we care about ourselves. And it sort of semi worked. It didn't work all the way around. So back then, you had some slaves that would have put their lives on the line for their master. And it's just like today. And then there were others that were treated so harshly, they wouldn't care if massa was being attacked. They wouldn't care. And you see that division even to this day. Now, like I said, they attempted to breed that nature into all of us, and it just didn't take hold like that. But they can spot that in our people and they exploit it. This is why you see so many with that nature on TV. They know what to look at in a man like Jalen Rose. Okay, this one, yeah, this one will dive out there and save us. When they put these type of men, Charles Barkley, Shaq, Jalen Rose, Stephen A, Jason Whitlock, when they put these men in front of us and women, they're literally trolling us with a black face. And they know to this very day that nature is still in some of our people. Not all, but enough where they can pluck them out, give them a contract, and put them right in front of us. And the sad part, the people that are like that don't even realize that behavior that they display dates all the way back to chattel slavery. And it's not going to change, y'all. It's not going to change. Even when we are at the very bitter end, you're still going to have these type of men and women among us. But if you notice, even when they disagree, these other groups with their own, they won't go public and speak out about it. And that's something that we have not learned to master. And we probably never will at this point. When those Asians attack black women in these nail salons, do you see other Asians coming forward saying, that's wrong? You should not have done that? No, they're not going to come forward and say nothing. They're not going to say a word. And when we see a white person that will kill an unarmed black person, you don't see them coming out in a strong way to go against the one. They don't do that. If they do it, they're not going to go dab smack in front of the camera and do it. Our people will. And the ones that do that, they never ask themselves, where did this come from? Why am I like this? And it just goes to show you how ingrained that nature is in some of our people. And then other people that are not like that within our group, we look at that, we're like, what the hell? We know something is not right about it. We already know. So I'm not going to play a lot of this because it's kind of lengthy, but I just want you to hear what he recently said about Kyrie. And you can see this chattel slavery, sellout nature that is, I mean, it has hit Jalen Rose hard. I'm just going to go ahead and play a snippet of this.
It's all the way live. It's all the way live. I just wanted to go live real quick as Michigan put Nebraska on wax and just acknowledge something. So I went back and looked at the video that I recently did where I acknowledged how I didn't necessarily see eye to eye with the approach, not only of missing games for your team, but the approach of understanding that when you're an athlete, we're required to be role models. And so when I watched the video, I didn't like a couple of the examples that I used. I didn't like the phrasing of how I used about saying Kyrie wasn't oppressed. I didn't like the example about how much he's getting paid because those two items don't mean that you're not oppressed based on the definition.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. What he said, y'all, was he was not going to side with Kyrie just because he was black. Okay. And you don't have to side with someone just because they're black. But my thing is, why do you got to go all public with that? That's the problem our people have. Some things should be handled internally. If we did that more, we could be more of a strong, united front. But as long as you have these weak links going public to speak when they really should be quiet and learn how to deal with things internally, this is why you will take a Jalen Rose and get him, the opposite side can get Jalen Rose to turn on one of us just from having a conversation. Oh, Jalen, this person that looks like you said A, B, and C. And he's easy to turn around and sell that person out. It's easy to manipulate a sellout. We all know that. So now he's coming back to backtrack those words because he said that Kyrie makes $40 million. Why do you have to be all in the press with that? And then he said he's not oppressed. Apparently, he is, if he's not free to do whatever he wants when he's not on the court. What do you call that if that's not oppression? If you got to be micromanaged your whole daily life on and off the court, then what the hell do you call that? See, the ones they like to micromanage the most is us. Even when you work in the office, if there's a black man and woman in that office, you get micromanaged the most. You don't only have your boss or supervisor watching, even these little coworkers that are on your level will watch you on the behalf of the company, because this is the kind of thinking, and it just goes to show you, even they still got a plantation mind. Jalen is a loose cannon. He goes one way one minute, and then the next minute he's backtracking to try to clean it up. So I'm going to go on and let you listen to the rest of what he has to say.
And so it takes a man to acknowledge when he feels like he was off key, off tone. So I just want to acknowledge and apologize for myself to my people, because as I talk to some people that I really love and respect, they enlightened me on the fact that even if I disagree, there's a way to do it like a G. And also, what I want you to know, when someone does disagree, in particular, blacks, when we disagree with each other, we can't be questioning each other's blackness.
Okay. But he did that. He did that. But you know what, y'all? Before he did the video trashing Jalen, guess who he had a 2-hour conversation with? Charles Barkley. That is definitely not a good reference point for dealing with our issues. Charles is staying on that plantation. He's not coming off. We know where he is. So, getting bad advice is also part of his problem. But again, does this man even have common sense? Because he doesn't seem to have any. All right, let me go on. I'll play a little more.
Ain't nothing gonna stop me from being black. Ain't nothing gonna take away from the time, energy, and passion that I did to pull myself up by my bootstraps and make a name for myself. So again, my apology is to my people, because somebody that I really respect, that's influential as a public figure, he told me there are some things that could be said, and even if they right, it can't get said by you.
Well, he got that advice a day late and a buck short, y'all. You know, one thing I can honestly say, I think he did learn, but Jalen just don't have those quick-witted motor skills, you know? And this is why he is always saying something like a loose cannon and then retracting it. But the problem is the damage is done. See, once you take that initial step to go out against someone, especially someone that looks like you, that's why that person said that message should never have come from you. And they're right. But he allowed himself to be manipulated after talking to Charles Barkley, and he went out there with a message that he should never have spoken publicly, but he did. So you can't take those things back. And another thing about a sellout, they worry too much about being liked. Life is too damn short, y'all, to be held back on how you feel or be worried about how a whole different group of people that don't look like you are going to feel. I don't give a damn. But some of our people are never going to get there. And Jalen is definitely one of those people that will never make it out of that mindset. He's not going to ever make it out of there, y'all. It's going to be more reckless things said from him and more apologies in the future. You can count on it. You can count on it. I've been around these type of black men and women in my lifetime, and I just choose to steer clear of them. I don't need to interact with them. I don't need their attention. I don't need attention from other people either. I don't. I'm too old to be told what I can and cannot do. But y'all, please tell me what you think about Jalen Rose dragging Kyrie, dragging him on blackness, saying he was not oppressed because he made $40 million and then turned around and tried to take it back, tried to walk the whole thing back. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.